I'm Emily, and this is Indie Book Reviews. This week, we're going back to my favorite genre. That's right. We're talking about a romance today. We are talking about a sports romance, which was my first ever sports romance. It's like a big thing now, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a sports girly, so never really took interest in it, but I was kind of in the mood. And you know what? Football's on, so I thought, let's read about hockey. So this week we read Cloudless by Katie B. Wright, which is a college hockey romance. We start off with our main character in court facing a custody battle over her two twin siblings after their parents unfortunately passed away. She is trying to finish school, she's trying to work, and she's trying to raise her siblings. So she has a lot going on, and she is definitely not looking for a relationship. Enter Cam, her classmate, and the captain of the college hockey team, who is okay with just being friends. He's in love with her, but after they meet and she's like, now's not the time, he's like, okay, but let me still be here for you because I see that you need help and I want to help you. Cam's a great guy. I will give a minor trigger warning for grief because obviously that is a major part of the backstory. And I'm going to rate the spice level as well because it is a romance and that does matter to some people. So I'm rating it like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I struggled with rating this because it is very tame 99% of the book and then skyrockets at the very end. There's like 1 or 2 chapters where it is spice level 10, open door, maximum power, but the rest of it's pretty tame. So even if you're not a spice person, you could probably read this whole book, get to those chapters, skip past them because it's very obvious, skip past them, and read to the end. So let's jump right into it with writing quality, which we're starting off with at a 4.8. The writing was very powerful, and right from the prologue, I wanted to cry. I feel like powerful is such a compliment. To move a person in such a way is like really a talent. The writing was very detailed in ways that I wouldn't usually think about. There were lines like holding printer warmed paper that I just really love because they really bring you into the story and give it that depth that it needs. There are so many great single line quotes, whether it be one-liners for comedic effect or things that make you swoon, things that make you giggle and kick your feet. There are so many great one-liners and I highlighted them all. The author had this ability to be funny, sad, make me swoon, make me blush, giggle, all within like 5 pages. It was insane, but it was never jarring. I never was like, oh my gosh, why am I crying now? Like, I don't know. It was just, the flow was very well done. And that can bring us right into plot because, of course, the plot flowed seamlessly from beginning to end. And I think a huge part of this was that the plot was very central. It was never forgotten. It never sort of like went off to the side. It was very, not like linear, but like there was one plot that we were focusing on and all of the subplots were written really well and just sort of like were mixed into the story at a perfect ratio. I guess you could say Katie B. Wright is cooking. That was kind of embarrassing. Now for the custody battle, for somebody who doesn't know the legality of that stuff, I'm sure a lot of research had to be done for this. It was very comprehensible to me. I understood it. I was never questioning the authenticity. Now, of course, we have to talk about the romance. This is a very love over lust story. Very frequently now, we're finding that physical attraction is the main drive in a lot of these romances, but this was very emotionally attached. They're both good people just trying to do their best, and they see that in each other. They both made each other happy, which is, you know, a breath of fresh air from the enemies to lovers that I'm constantly reading. They're just so into each other, and I feel like that's the whole point of a romance. Also, one of my notes in Kindle was yearning level 100. Cam is the yearning king, and we love him for that. Now let's talk about characters, so I can go into other things. Did I mention that plot was a 4.9? If I didn't, plot is a 4.9. Now let's go into characters so I can talk about Cam. Characters was also a 4.9. Cam is just so sweet and genuine. He is okay staying away from the romantic stuff just to be there for her, just to be a support system, because he sees that she needs it. He's just a good dude. We love to see that. Green flag guy. Just walking green flag. Everybody in the story is just trying their best, especially the main character, and the kids are just so cute. They're adorable. They're there throughout the whole story, and we love them. Something that I really appreciate, because I feel like it gets lost sometimes, is when characters have identifiable qualities or like notable characteristics. When I can say this person is kind and selfless and hardworking and supportive, like when I can list off their character traits. They all have identifiable characteristics, which is so awesome. That's like a huge thing that I really like. And even all the side characters, like all of their friends, one is a cook, one is sort of quiet and serious, one is giving Ken a little ditzy but very funny, and they all play a major role in the story. It's sort of like a found family, so they're all there to support each other and be there for one another. And I think that was just done really well. Nobody was like thrown off to the side and forgotten about. There was no characters that didn't need to be there. I love them all. And immediately after finishing this book, I messaged the author and I was like, hey, so when are you gonna write the love story of the other two characters? Because I need it now. I loved them that much. I loved the side characters that much. Up next, we have creativity at a 4.5. I feel like the reason for this is a lot of stuff that I've already explained, like how detailed the descriptions are. I think the descriptions are just extremely creative. I love the way that she thought about everything that she was saying. And I know the thought that goes into working with characters that have such definable characteristics. It's a lot. You have to like put real thought into every line that they say and every action that they take. I don't know, writing is hard sometimes. I think one of the most creative things about this book is that there are like 2 or 3 text chapters, like literal text message chapters. And this is such a genius way of moving through time and building relationship quickly. In this day and age, we do build relationships over text, and we cannot always be with a person. So when the author is able to show some text messages between 2 characters or group text, so like 6 characters, you just get a better sense of their relationship with one another and how it progresses, especially in the beginning. So I thought that was super creative, and I kind of love that. I feel like a lot of the creativity in this book was in the little things that just sort of build up to make it a great story, like the one-liners or the scenes that are there for comedic effect, the way that we're brought into other scenes, you know, like transitions and stuff, the way that the kids play a major role in the story. I think it's really well done, and I don't know, it's kind of heartwarming, and it just kind of made me happy. Well, not all of it, but the ending is very happy, so we love a happy ending. I feel like that's the perfect segue into my overall feeling. And my overall feeling was a 5. Without a doubt. There's no way that I can read a book from dawn until dusk and not call it a 5. How else am I going to sit there and do nothing else all day except read this book? The second I put it down, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I really just need to get to the next chapter. That's crazy to have that hold on me. Like, you're a good author. There's no more to it. I was really in the mood for a romance, and I kind of like wanted to try a sports romance. This ate. This was everything. It was perfect. It was everything I needed. And now I can get back to my 3-week-long attempt at reading Wuthering Heights. It is a good book. It must be the language or something. I'm really struggling to move quickly. I cannot move quickly. But Cloudless was cute. It was funny. It made me giggle and kick my feet. It made me a little sad, but it was like the right amount of sad, which does exist for a person who doesn't like to read sad books. I just felt great about it the whole time, and I would like 100% recommend this to anybody who has ever read a sports romance and enjoyed it. Let this be your next one. And honorable mention to the quote, "Call Cam." You won't understand this until after you read the book, but this is the full circle moment. It is beautiful, it is amazing, it is perfect writing, and I loved it so much. So I just wanted to point it out. So our complete total final rating is a 4.82 out of 5. But of course, on Amazon and Goodreads, we're rating it a 5, and we're writing a good review, because you need to write good reviews for your indie authors, please. We appreciate it so much. You can get Cloudless on Amazon, definitely. Kindle Unlimited, definitely. That's where I read it. And it has a really cute cover. I don't know who the artist is, but kudos to them. And you could get a paperback if you want really cute sports romance on your shelf. Katie B. Wright also has another book that I believe takes place in Italy, and it's sort of in the culinary scene. Pretty cool. I'm kind of interested in that. Also trying to rewatch The Bear, so definitely more interested in that. And I can't wait to read it because Katie B. Wright is genuinely a really good author, so she'll probably, like, anything she writes is going to be good. Just a guess. I will have all of those links that you need in the description below to make it really easy for you. And now that it's the end of the video, I will also tell you that I had a book come out on September 2nd. It is the second book in my Romantasy trilogy. So if you like romance and maybe a little bit of fantasy, you should check out Springhaven and Perfidy on Kindle Unlimited. Or, like, get a paperback if you want. I did have my first ever author event this past Saturday, and I sold out, which was kind of insane. And now that I think about it, kind of a dream come true. That's a little crazy. So I don't know, maybe that means it's good. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, and keep reading. I will see you next week. No, I won't. I will see you 2 weeks from now.